Every day, I share another story from the Golden Age and the moments that shaped an unforgettable era. If you'd like to keep these memories alive with me, hit subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it means a lot. Thank you for being here. Now let's begin. At 80 years old, Tom Selleck is finally opening up about the truth behind his bond with James Garner, and the story hits harder than anyone expected. Tom Selleck, born Thomas William Selleck on January 29, 1945, in Detroit, Michigan, came from a humble working-class family before they packed up and headed to Sherman Oaks, California. Growing up in sunny Southern California right after World War II, Tom wasn't dreaming about cameras or fame. He was all about the court. Basketball was his world, and for a long time he thought that's where his future was locked in. He earned a basketball scholarship to the University of Southern California, playing for the USC Trojans while grinding through a business administration degree. At that point, acting wasn't even on his radar. He wasn't chasing auditions or dreaming about red carpets. But life has a way of flipping the script, and one drama coach at USC looked at him and basically told him he was made for the spotlight. After trying out a few acting classes and landing some early commercial gigs, including those classic Pepsi ads from the 1960s, Tom started realizing he felt at home in front of the camera. His natural charm, his height, and that rugged look that later became part of TV history, all of it made him stand out fast. He wasn't just another hopeful actor, he was someone Hollywood couldn't ignore. But even with all that potential, the early years were rough and full of grinding. Throughout the late 1960s and 1970s, Selleck pulled up on tons of TV shows, taking anything he could get, from The Dating Game to The Rockford Files. They weren't huge roles, but every appearance helped him sharpen his skills and build real connections behind the scenes. And this is where something major happened, one of the biggest turning points of his life. Tom formed a genuine friendship with James Garner, a seasoned star who didn't just treat him like a colleague, he treated him like family. Garner became a mentor, someone who believed in him, someone he could trust in an industry where trust is rare. That relationship shaped Tom's career in ways people didn't see coming. Even while his network was growing, Tom kept missing out on huge movie opportunities, some right on the edge of becoming legendary. One of the craziest almost moments in Hollywood history was his audition for Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark. George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were ready to hand him the whip and the hat. But because of scheduling conflicts with the show that was about to change his life, he had to walk away from what could have been another iconic role. It was a tough break, but destiny had something even bigger lined up. Everything changed in 1980 when Tom landed the role that turned him into a global icon. Thomas Magnum, the private investigator with serious style, on the hit series Magnum PI. With those Hawaiian shirts, the slick Ferrari, and that signature mustache, Tom became the blueprint for cool, tough, grown man swagger on TV. When people talk about classic TV heroes, Magnum is right there at the top, no debate. The show ran for 8 seasons throughout the 1980s, pulling massive ratings and earning Tom both an Emmy and a Golden Globe. But it wasn't just the success of the show that made it special, it was the heart he brought to the character. Magnum wasn't just another detective. He was funny, sharp, honest, and carried a level of humanity that people connected with instantly. Fans loved that he could crack a joke one minute and dive into real emotions the next. Decades later, you still mention TV detectives and people picture Magnum, Hawaiian shirt, Ferrari, mustache, and all. Tom didn't stay locked into TV life either. He moved into films during the 1980s and 1990s, pushing his range and proving he wasn't a one-lane actor. One of his biggest hits was 3 Men and a Baby, a movie that became a cultural moment and showed he could bring humor and warmth to the big screen just as well as he did on television. In 1987, Tom Selleck shocked fans by stepping into comedy and nailed it. The film became a massive box office hit and proved he wasn't just about action or rugged roles, he could make people laugh too. But Selleck didn't stop there. He also showed his love for classic westerns with Quigley Down Under in 1990, proving he could dominate the cowboy scene with that trademark rugged screen presence. Hollywood's cowboy tradition fit him like a glove, and audiences couldn't get enough. These roles weren't just fun, they added serious depth to his career. Tom proved he could handle both comedy and serious drama, moving effortlessly between laughs and tension. Even in later years, he stayed relevant by reinventing himself, picking roles that matched his experience and maturity. Since 2010, he's been a powerhouse as Frank Reagan on CBS's long-running police drama Blue Bloods. As the head of a New York law enforcement family, Tom brought weight, dignity, and real emotion to the role. Fans and critics alike praised his performance, and the show became another defining chapter in a career already packed with hits. Blue Bloods cemented Selleck's status as one of TV's most enduring stars, proving he could dominate screens decades into his career. On the personal side, from 1971 to 1982, Tom was married to model Jacqueline Ray, a glamorous woman who lit up the fashion scene in the late 60s and early 70s. Their decade-long marriage included one of Tom's most heartfelt decisions. He legally adopted Jacqueline's young son, Kevin Shepard, born in 1966. This move showed Tom's deep sense of responsibility and his desire to create a stable, loving family, despite the chaos of Hollywood. Kevin grew up surrounded by the buzz of Selleck's rising fame, moving from small TV gigs to major recognition. The foundation Tom and Jacqueline provided gave Kevin space to find his own path, and he eventually became a professional drummer. Kevin found his stride with the American rock band Tonic in the 1990s, hitting the mainstream alternative scene with multiple hits. Selleck's support clearly laid the groundwork for Kevin's artistic ambitions, showing the lasting impact of family love in a whirlwind industry. After his divorce from Jacqueline, Tom's love life took him across the Atlantic, where fate introduced him to Jillie Mack, a British actress and dancer born in 1957. On August 7, 1987, they tied the knot, but the story of how they met is pure Hollywood magic. While in London for work, Tom attended a performance of the musical Cats, one of the hottest shows at the time. That's when he spotted Jillie on stage and was instantly captivated by her charm and presence. What started as a chance encounter turned into a whirlwind romance. Despite Tom's skyrocketing fame in America and Jillie's established career in Britain, they built a strong, unshakable bond. Their wedding was kept private, a rare move for Hollywood royalty, reflecting Tom's preference for keeping his personal life away from the relentless spotlight. It was a love story that felt real, grounded, and built to last, even amidst fame and global attention. Tom and Jill's union proved strong and lasting, built on real companionship and mutual respect. Together, they welcomed their only child, Hannah Margaret Selleck, born on December 16, 1988. Unlike many kids from Hollywood families who chase the glitz and glamour, Hannah carved her own path. From a young age, she fell in love with horses and equestrian sports, inspired by the open spaces and natural environment she grew up in. Hannah didn't just dabble in riding, she became a top-tier competitive equestrian, representing her family on the international stage with elegance, discipline, and fierce determination. Tom has often spoken with pride about her achievements, openly admiring the dedication it takes to thrive in a sport that demands both physical strength and mental focus. The Sellecks chose a life away from Hollywood chaos, setting up their home in serene Southern California. Their 60-acre avocado ranch in Hidden Valley near Thousand Oaks and Westlake Village is a slice of paradise. The property has a bit of old-school Hollywood charm, too. It was once owned by the legendary Dean Martin. For Tom and Jill, the ranch offered privacy and a real connection to the land. A welcome escape from the flashing lights of fame. But this isn't just a pretty backdrop. Tom dives into the work of ranch life headfirst. Avocado groves, dirt roads, open fields. He handles it all himself. In a 2012 interview with People magazine, Tom said working outdoors gave him a satisfaction no gym could match. "So I like to get outside and work on the ranch, from fixing roads to clearing brush," he said, emphasizing the grounding effect of physical labor. With his classic humor, he added, "I hate going to the gym. Sweating outdoors sure beats sitting on a stationary bike staring at my navel." Tom's hands-on approach isn't just about fun. It's about pride, discipline, and staying connected to reality. He even joked that he worked cheaper than anyone he could hire, showing a work ethic and humility rare in Hollywood. Maintaining the ranch himself is a reflection of the values he's carried through life: hard work, simplicity, and staying true to oneself despite fame and fortune. For Tom, the ranch is more than a home. It's a lifestyle. It's a sanctuary, a place to recharge, and a buffer against the chaos of the entertainment world. Life there with Jill and Hannah symbolizes his devotion to family, privacy, and authenticity. It's no wonder he's been able to maintain a career that's lasted decades while keeping his personal life stable and grounded. The Selleck's ranch life proves that sometimes the best kind of fame is the one lived on your own terms. In an industry where stability is almost a myth, Tom Selleck, now 80, has reached a point where looking back isn't just natural, it's necessary. After decades of staying mostly silent, he's finally ready to speak openly about one of the most profound influences on his life and career, James Garner. For years, Tom avoided diving deep into his admiration for Garner, worried that words could never match the respect and gratitude he felt. But now, with decades of experience and perspective, he's ready to tell it like it is. He wants the world to know the truth about the man he didn't just see as a colleague, but as a mentor, a role model, and ultimately, a friend. Tom remembers that his admiration for Garner started long before they ever worked together. Like millions of Americans, he grew up watching Maverick in the 1950s, where Garner's natural, easygoing charm stood out against the brooding cowboys of the era. Unlike other actors trapped in a single persona, Garner could mix toughness with humor, blending charisma with real humanity. Garner was something rare in Hollywood: authenticity. He wasn't trying to be bigger than life. He simply carried himself with sincerity, making audiences instantly believe in him. Tom's early admiration turned into a life-changing chance in the 1980s when, already famous as Thomas Magnum on Magnum PI, he got to work with Garner on The Rockford Files, Friends, and Foul Play, and other projects. Tom admits he was nervous before meeting him, worried the TV legend might be distant or dismissive. Instead, Garner immediately disarmed him with warmth, humor, and humility. Jim didn't have a phony bone in his body, Tom has said. He treated everyone, from directors to boom operators, with the same respect, and watching that taught Tom more about professionalism than any acting class ever could. But Garner's influence went far beyond professional courtesy. On long days on set, he became a sounding board for Tom, offering advice not just on acting but on surviving in Hollywood. Garner warned him about fame, ego, and the temptation to compromise integrity for success. He reminded Tom that no role, paycheck, or burst of publicity was worth sacrificing one's character. Those lessons stuck, helping Tom navigate the industry without losing himself. Perhaps the deepest truth Tom finally admits at 80 is how personally indebted he feels to Garner. Watching Jim's career, Tom realized it was possible to be both a star and a family man, admired on screen and loved off. Garner's long, strong marriage and genuine life off camera became a blueprint for the kind of man Tom aspired to be. The influence wasn't just professional, it shaped his values, his family life, and the way he moved through Hollywood with integrity. Lois Clark's influence on Tom Selleck went deeper than most realize. She inspired him to put family first, even at the peak of his fame. Tom actually stepped away from Magnum PI to spend more time with his wife Jill and their daughter Hannah on their sprawling California ranch. This choice wasn't just about rest, it was a life lesson straight from James Garner. Love, stability, and family always come first, even in the middle of Hollywood chaos. Looking back, Tom doesn't hide how much Garner's friendship meant to him personally. The bond they shared was built on laughter, mutual respect, and a deep understanding of what it really takes to carry the weight of a hit TV series. Garner had faced his own health battles and career frustrations, and he often offered Tom perspective, reminding him what truly mattered. When the pressure of fame felt crushing, Jim had a way of cutting through it with a story or a laugh. Tom recalls, "Jim could make you feel like everything was going to be all right, even when the stress was unbearable." That kind of support wasn't just comforting, it shaped the way Tom approached his own career and personal life. Now, reflecting on his legacy, Tom admits a big part of it is inseparable from Garner's influence. He sees Jim not just as a mentor, but as a mirror, showing him the kind of actor and the kind of man he wanted to be. Garner's generosity, humor, and humanity left a permanent mark on Tom, one that he carries with him every day. Finally opening up, Tom hopes others understand just how vital Garner's presence was in his life. "I owe him more than I can ever repay," Tom admits. The truth is, James Garner set the standard for everything I've tried to be, and at 80, I can honestly say I'm still trying to live up to it. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button if you felt something real, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.